So it's my pleasure to introduce Cecilia Danesi. Cecilia is attorney at law. She has a master in law in damages law at the School of Law, University of Girona in Spain, with a scholarship granted by the Carolina Foundation. Her thesis title is Damages Caused by Artificial Intelligence, Autonomous Vehicle, which is, of course, a very central topic in nowadays discussions. Cecilia is visiting researcher and professor at the University of Oxford, University of Perugia, and University of Salamanca. She is also a researcher and professor of civil and commercial obligation and artificial intelligence and law at the School of Law at the University of Buenos Aires. She's the author of the book, Traffic Accidents, and publisher of several academic papers. She has been a lecturer in congresses. She is deputy director on the postgraduate program on artificial intelligence and law at the School of Law at the University of Buenos Aires, and also deputy director of Law Health Institute in the San Isidro Bar Association. Cecilia has been awarded the Private Law Prize at the Accademia Aragonesa de Jurisprudencia y Legislación, not sure I pronounced it well, and she is also a PhD candidate in artificial intelligence and consumer law at the University of Perugia and University of Salamanca. Please, Cecilia, go ahead with your talk.
Thank you so much for the presentation. It's a pleasure for me to be here. The title of my presentation is Artificial Intelligence and its Impact on Law Field, a Human Rights Point of View. So the topics that we are going to focus today are the following. First, the definition of artificial intelligence. Second, the international context. Third, bias and human rights. And finally, the relation between AI and law. So what is artificial intelligence? First of all, I have to say that there is no consensus about the definition of artificial intelligence. The high-level expert group on AI from the European Union refers that AI are systems that, given a complex goal, act in the physical or digital dimension by perceiving their environment through data acquisition, interpreting the collected structured or unstructured data, reasoning on the knowledge or processing the information derived from this data, and deciding the best action to take to achieve the given goal. They can also, and this part is very important for the law field, adapt their behavior by analyzing how the environment is affected by their previous actions. So, what happened with the international context and the importance of artificial intelligence? The United States has a bill called the Algorithmic Accountability Act of 2019. It will authorize the Federal Trade Commission to create regulation requiring companies to assess their automated decision-making system for accuracy, fairness, bias, discrimination, privacy, and security. In this picture, you can find a brief idea of the national strategies on artificial intelligence around European countries. As you can see, Italy has its final draft in July 2019, and the final document is going to issue in June. So, and finally, for this part of the presentation, I want to share with you all, in my opinion, all the relevant international documents related to the AI and law. First, the report with recommendation to the Commission on Civil Law Rules on Robotics. Another important document is the report on AI and its impact on freedom of opinion and expression This report is from the UN and it's very important, related to human rights and especially to freedom of opinion and expression. Another important document is also from the high-level expert group on artificial intelligence, and it's the ethic guidelines for a trustworthy AI. Also, the white paper on artificial intelligence. This paper has two main purposes. One is policies and second, regulation. And finally, and also related to human rights, the Union of Equality, Gender Equality Strategy 2020-2025. So let's focus on bias and human rights. Taking into account the definition provided by the Cambridge Dictionary, bias is a situation in which you support or oppose someone or something in an unfair way because you are influenced by your personal opinion. Just to give you one example of bias, the report Tackling Social Norms Against Gender for Gender Inequalities says that despite decades of progress in closing the gender equality gap, close to, and listen to this number, 9 out of 10 men and women around the world hold some sort of bias against women. So this report also shows what is the relation between AI and bias. Machine learning algorithms are not biased inherently. They learn to be biased. Algorithmic biasing occurs when the learning algorithms is trained on biased datasets and subsequently accurately learns the pattern of bias in the data. In some cases, the learned representation within machine learning algorithms can even, and this is the worry part for the human rights, exaggerate these biases. So I'm going to give you 2 examples of real cases where you are going to see the impact of the artificial intelligence in human rights. First is the Amazon case. Amazon developed an AI system which established a score to the CV of candidates applying for IT positions. The system discriminated female candidates and chose men instead. This happened because the system was trained on companies' last 10 years of file, and of course, most of which were men in high position. Another case is the case of Apple Car, where given identical credit score to a couple, the wife spending limit was actually 20 times lower. So finally, the relation between human rights, AI, and law. We are going to focus in 2 areas. First, the AI system in the judiciary field, and second, law areas which are most impacted by the AI. So the first system that I want to share with you is Promethea. Promethea is an AI system developed in Argentina which began predicting prosecutor sentences and currently is being implemented in different areas such as the Constitutional Court in Colombia. Another case is Predictis. Predictis is used in Belgium, France, and the system can predict the result of a case. But the Judicial Reform Act in France of March 2019 says that the information of the magistrates and civil servants must not be used to evaluate, analyze, compare, or predict their practices. So, we can have a system that predicts the result of a case, but we can never predict the practices of a particular judge or tribunal. And finally, the system called Compass. Compass is being used in most of the states of the US, and the system gives a recurrence score which is going to be used by the judge to decide the prison sentence. To do that, the accused has to fill a form with 137 questions, such as the following. For example, have you often moved in the last 12 months? Or have you ever been suspended from your school? Or if your parents had been separated? Another question is how many of your friends have ever been arrested? Or, for example, criminal thinking, if a hungry person has the right to steal. ProPublica conducted a study about the performance of Compass. It consists in giving Compass and a group of persons the same group of accused people to compare how both rated them. Both Human and Compass gave the same score and had the same racial bias. Both show the same false negative and false positive discriminating Black people. So here in the picture, you could see the white people with a low risk and then they commit a crime, and the Black people with a high risk, but they then didn't commit a crime. So finally, I just want to mention, in my opinion, which are the law areas that are most affected by the impact of the AI. Civil liability. We have to answer who is going to be responsible for the damage caused by the AI, taking into account its autonomy and self-learning capabilities. Consumer law area. The European Union has already said that the directive of liability for defective products could not be enough for the damages caused by the digital products. Also, we have to think about the idea of giving an electronic legal personality to the AI system. So, for example, Saudi Arabia granted legal personality to the human robot Sophia. Of course, I have to mention data protection. As you know, data is the AI core. And this topic is very important during this COVID pandemic because AI systems are being used to fight against it. Another area is the profile creation. As you know, AI is used to create profiles and to do advertising or to manipulate decision of voters. You're going to find a great example of this situation in the Cambridge Analytica case that there is a documentary very interesting in Netflix, which is called The Great Hack. And finally, the screening of hate speech in social media and internet is done by AI. So this could cause prior censorship. So as you can see, we have a lot of reflections and questions, but no centered answers. I propose to work all together and study AI with an interdisciplinary approach and a human rights frame. Thank you so much.